Welcome in to WCTV Sports Overtime. I'm Ryan Kelly. That's Taylor Viles. Allison Posey, why don't you introduce our special guest?
Matt Jackson in the house, Lincoln head coach, with a big win tonight over Childs for the city championship.
I was going to say, and a city title, man. Congrats.
Big win. Proud of our guys for the way they battled. We kind of made some mistakes, but were able to overcome them, and a win is a win.
You can tell this is a team that's expecting a lot, wants a lot. You're putting up 42 points, winning a city championship, still want more, man. I love that mindset. Love that mentality.
Yes, we want to get to that second season. Kind of, if we can still put up 42 points in the second season, starting in the middle of November, I'll take it all day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know you were critical after the game, and you said you're having your team running on Monday. But what did you like about your performance tonight?
I mean, at the end of the day, we won the game. But again, I think offensively we moved the ball. We just, again, shot ourselves in the foot with some costly, we had a personal foul penalty. We had a couple false start penalties that kind of, threw us back. And, once you're playing behind the chains, and Childs is a very good team. Well-coached team. Coach Reagans does a good job of getting his guys ready. They play a physical style of football, so we couldn't afford to keep putting ourselves behind the chain. But we found a way to battle back and, again, be able to score some points and pull out the win.
I mean, we have 3 weeks left in the regular season, and you talk about some of those mistakes. Are you happy with where you guys are? Like, do you think we're kind of peaking? Like, what do we need to work on as this kind of regular season wraps up?
I think we have a lot of room to improve.
There we go.
But it's it's one of those things too. As a coach, you do have a lot of room to improve, and so that's kind of the exciting part. It's like once we click, then and again we want to click at the right time, which is in that second season, maybe towards that last game, but. November 14th is when we really want to be going. And so as long as we know we can get better and work towards it, we should be fine.
That's what I'm saying. That ceiling, though, it's still very high with this team.
It's very high,
yeah.
Yes. I think, in some regards, I don't even think we scratched the surface yet.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
we're running out of time, but I think the team has a lot of potential. We just got to, again, get it done before it's too late.
Yeah.
And I know you're talking about you guys making mistakes, but if I'm not mistaken, you didn't turn the ball over at all tonight. You had 3 or 4 takeaways.
Yeah.
But no turnovers.
And that's literally, the score looks one way, but that's literally what the difference in the game was. A shootout in the first half, and then coming out of halftime, we were able to get the ball and drive down and score, and then got the turnover, which gave us the opportunity to go up by 2 touchdowns. And that was the difference, in my opinion, in the game. Now we were able to play with a lead, and make their offense do some things that they maybe not been comfortable doing. But then we got the ball back and scored again. So, again, that goes back to one of those things, just find a way to win.
Bigger picture question for you, Coach. It's an interesting situation when you're taking over an already successful program. You're taking over a program you're already familiar with. You're taking over a program where Coach Tyson is still around. Mm-hmm. How has this process been in terms of taking over as head coaching and knowing that you didn't have to reinvent the wheel at Lincoln? You already had a great team ready to go.
That's actually been one of the advantages. Obviously, is that the coaching staff we've been together for 3 years. Just kind of changed who's in charge. I have put my spin on things, but at the end of the day, like you said, I didn't set this standard. Coach Tyson didn't set the standard. It's just our job to uphold the standard. And so, with me being in charge and, him being on staff, it actually helps a lot because now I have someone I can lean on. And, again, as a first-year head coach, obviously you think you know everything, but as soon as you think you know everything, something arises, and I know I can lean on him. He's going to give me great advice. Same thing with Coach Brandon McCray, who's been a head coach before. He's going to give me great advice. So I have a great staff around me.
What has been kind of the biggest surprise about taking over that head coaching responsibility?
I wouldn't actually say it's any surprises, and I don't want to sound like I know everything going in. It's just I've been around the game for so long. My dad was a coach for 33 years, so even this is all I know. And being around different coaching staffs and talking to different coaches and kind of in my mind preparing myself to be a head coach. So I wouldn't say anything really surprises me. It may be a thing or two, dang, I didn't think I'd deal with it this much, but no real surprises. And all my coaches can relate to what I'm probably talking about when I say things you have to deal with too much. Parents, we love you, but sometimes we just want to enjoy the game and go home.
I mean, for people that don't know Coach, when we had on Coach Braswell last week, we kept saying like, oh, that's a fun fact, because he was talking about just like guys he's played with and people who had coached him. For people that don't know Coach Jackson, so he played at Sewanee High School, played with Kyler Hall, who coached at McClay, and now he's the head coach at Sewanee. Jay Walls was your head coach at Sewanee, who was at Bainbridge until a couple of weeks ago. They parted ways, but he then went on to play at the University of Florida, where you won an SEC championship, and you've coached at Sewanee, you've coached at Godby, you've coached at Lincoln.
And Buchholz.
And
That's where I started at Buchholz.
Really? And so I didn't know that. So again, fun fact.
Yes.
But you talk about being around the game for a while, and you've seen a lot. He's played with a lot of people too, and I think that's one of the coolest parts about coaching in the Big Ben. It's like with the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, like everybody's
connected to somebody,
connected.
some way, somehow.
Give us another fun fact. Like, who else do we know, like, played with, played against?
And not to mention, coached against another Sewanee Bulldog tonight.
Yes, as you mentioned,
Yeah, 'cause
Kyler
Coach
Hall,
Reagan,
he mentioned
yeah.
that this was going to be the battle of the Sewanee, and the winner gets, what do you say, I think a picture of Brown Lantern and Live Oak. If you get a chance to go to Brown Lantern, it has the best shrimp sandwich ever.
There you go.
But interesting fact, let's see, I guess 2 things. Fortunate enough, we talked about the Jacob kids. Their dad was a college teammate of mine.
Really?
So, yes,
Yeah, 'cause he played Florida.
our families were real close, and so once I got the job, one of the first things I was like, dude, first year as a head coach, but you know what I'm more excited about? I get to coach your son, and not even just coach your son, but we 25-year relationship. And now I get to walk with his son and coach his son on senior night, and then
so
hopefully
cool.
do the same thing next year with Trevor as a junior. So, so that's special. And then I think another interesting fact is, like I mentioned, I was at Buchholz.
Yeah.
We were in the district with Lincoln.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
Brandon McCray was coaching at Lincoln, and Jacquez Green was the offensive coordinator
Yeah.
at the time. And so after the game, we were talking, and I kid you not, and McCray he'll verify the story. We were talking, and one day he said, "Hey man, we're gonna coach together one day." And he mentioned it a couple of
Foreshadowing
times over the next year or two, and he was the one who actually got me to Tallahassee. I started off with him at Godby, and
That's
then
wild.
came over to
I didn't
Lincoln
know
with
that.
him. Yes.
So let me ask you this: How old does that make you feel that you're coaching one of your teammates' kids, or 2 of your teammates, or one teammate, 2
Age
kids?
is a feeling. Age is a feeling. I don't feel old at all. So, but no, it's exciting. Actually, I don't think about it as far as, dang, you're getting old. It's like, not yet, at least I don't. But I just look at it as, man, like when we were, playing together, you never would imagine, like, we'd be able to coach. I'd be able to coach his kid, and so,
cool.
much less one of his kids, 2 of his kids, and then on top of that, they're great athletes. So, and Trevor as a quarterback, Taylor as a quarterback is a great leader too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I couldn't ask for a better pair of kids to coach.
Yeah.
Well, as Coach Braswell said last week, this kind of experience just makes you more valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not getting older; it's just becoming more valuable.
Yeah, more seasoned.
I liked
Seasoned,
yes.
I liked
Seasoned.
what Marcus Edwards told me when I was at Lafayette's camp in fall. I was like, "We're getting old, man," and he said, "No, we're getting better."
We're
There
we're
you
getting
go.
better. We're
I like
getting
that.
better.
Joints may hurt a little
Yes.
more, but we're still getting
We're
better.
the wise ones up here. You
Yay,
young people,
there
we're the
you
wise
go.
ones.
You young kids that
better.
wore the beanie tonight when it was
So
cold.
when the kids say, "Coach, you're getting old," I say, "Remember, I've been your age. You've never been my age."
Hey, there you go. Adam, can we roll their highlights from tonight? I know Taylor's on the front end, but
I dropped in the actual highlights. They should be in there.
Oh, hold on.
Because we wanna go through the game.
They should be in there right after the package.
you can tell us kind of what's going on in some of these games.
Yeah, or you could just show Taylor looking like he's in the Arctic.
And we can
again,
make fun of him again.
and we can keep making fun of him.
And I'll say this: when we made fun of him with the beanie on, because anybody that knows me, I hate the cold. I hate it. I'll have
I've
hand
watched her wear
warmers
a
out.
parka indoors.
Indoors, I have my gloves, scarf. So he made fun of me first. But here we go. Here's the game.
So here we go. Game. Taylor, why don't you set us up here, man?
Well, I mean, yeah, so great start to this one, Coach. As you were saying, it was a shootout.
Yeah,
Look
bro.
at this pass from Taylor Jacobs. Absolutely.
I mean, he's so clutch.
He is clutch, and the guy catching the ball, Malik Denmark,
scholar athlete.
scholar
Yep.
athlete. He is a guy. He is a player for us. We have several players on the offensive side of the ball, but he's one. This kid,
Talk
young
about
man
game
right
planning
here.
for him.
That young man runs tough.
Yeah.
Gosh, that young man runs tough. And then we have the blur right here. This guy is so fast. Appalachian State commit, Caden Paul, can take the top off the defense. But again, when you got a guy
It's a
like
dart, man.
That was brother to
Taylor
brother
throwing the
right
ball,
Yeah.
he's a South Alabama commit. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one on Monday. That's
Bit of a taunting penalty.
Yeah, we got to talk about something this right here. We got to do a better job tackling. Again, like I said, Charles was a good team, well coached, but we got to do a better job tackling too.
Wait, check.
This one,
This is a beauty too.
That's
coming out of that
that's
left
gorgeous,
hand,
man.
Yeah, it is. The refs always ask before the game, "Hey, what end is your quarterback?" He's a lefty. Oh, I'm probably forget that because I guess they align certain ways depending on where the quarterback where he throws from.
Listen, I grew up watching Mark Brunell. I love left-handed quarterbacks.
Having a quarterback like Taylor though, and then having his brother as a receiver, I mean, how much of a difference maker is that? I mean, that brother connection's got to be pretty special.
It is. Just going to Taylor real quick. We see the arm.
Yeah.
And there's some highlights that we didn't get that it showing off his legs. That is a huge factor. When teams want to bring pressure, he can kind of extend the play. And he's actually clocked at. We wear our catapult, which it captures impact, speeds, and all that. He's actually had our fastest top end speed at 22.3, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yes, and actually is one of the faster recorded times in the state this year. So
holy cow, that's awesome.
And then you couple that with the arm strength.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, he's a leader. He's a weight room warrior. I mean, if you see the guy without their uniform, him and Trevor,
they're big.
They don't miss weight room days.
Yeah.
So it's just a blessing to have a guy like that. Again, a true dual threat that can run it and throw it. And he's also a leader.
That's awesome.
So great kid.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, they are good kids. Every time I go out to practice, and again, this makes me feel old. They're always like, "Hey, Miss Posey, how's it going?" But again, for them to say, "Hey," that it's super cool. It's neat to be. Because I know who they are. I don't expect them to know who I am. Like whatever. But still, no. But still, but it's a sign of respect. It means something when the kids say hey, because it's like, oh my gosh, you guys do watch and you guys do pay attention to what we do. Yeah. So it's always really cool when the kids notice us.
And they're both very well mannered kids.
Yeah.
Their mom and dad and grandparents have done a phenomenal job with them. Granddad, before he passed, Mr. Jacobs, who everybody knows, one of the greatest track coaches in the history of the state of Florida. I think at one point he won 13 straight state championships in track,
pretty good.
And 18 or so overall. And so the genes were there, but they've raised two wonderful kids.
That's awesome. We got a congrats on the win, Coach Jackson. So we got the viewers chiming in a little bit.
Thank you, viewer, whoever you may be.
Jonathan Ferris, one of our loyal viewers. Yep. Yeah. He always asks us, when are you going to have Lincoln on? When are you going to have Lincoln on? Lincoln is on.
He is a diehard Lincoln.
Yeah,
we appreciate you, Jonathan.
We love it. We love it.
Now is usually the part where I would look at a YouTube comment or talk about your future schedule, but I just realized about halfway through I forgot my phone on my desk. So I know you've got the upcoming schedule here.
Yeah.
Or you have the YouTube feed.
I do. I have. So you've got, what's coming up next.
You from Jacksonville?
Oh, yes. That's right. Not only am I from Jacksonville.
Yes.
I'm a TCA grad.
Oh, here we go.
We got
Here we go.
a Gatorade on the line.
So Big Green and Big Blue going to get together on the west side of Jacksonville. Hold on, we got.
Oh, God. Ryan's an athlete. Ryan's an athlete.
I had no idea what Dylan, our executive producer, was throwing at me. It took about halfway through. My mind said a word I can't say here, and I was like, "That's a phone."
Kind of a fastball.
Bleep it out fast
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
So,
TCA, Godby, and then Rickards.
Yeah, man. I mean, you've both played brutal schedules, and I know Trinity and Lincoln are no stranger to each other. Coach Dormany's, of course, had his team come over here, played at Cox before, but to go up against them, to go up against just the schedule overall that you've had. I mean, you've played them, you've played Nice. I mean, it was just
Ware County.
I was just saying, what has this?
Yeah,
you've been to South Georgia. What has this schedule been like, man?
It's been tough, but when we scheduled it, we knew it was going to be tough. And our thinking was we want to prepare our kids for the playoffs. That second season, that's why again we traveled to Ware, we traveled to Nice because at some point we're going to have to travel, and we're going to play a very good football team. So our guys need to know how to respond and not learn on the job. And so, like I said, especially that first part of the season, that first 5 weeks, oh my goodness gracious! I think when the state rankings first came out, we were top 25 as far as schedule, and of the 25 teams, there were only 2 with a winning record. Buchholz, I think, at the time, and Bowles, and then when we beat Leon, we became the 3rd team to have a winning record with such a tough schedule. Wow. So our guys have been battle tested, but we're going to see how that pays off. Hopefully, in November.
And your first win tonight on the road. I mean, obviously it was a Tallahassee game, but that had to feel good, gaining some confidence.
Yeah.
Not at home.
Yes, and and that's why it sounded a little weird because you say on the road, like, oh, we're here in Tallahassee, but
You've actually played a home game
yes,
at Childs
yes,
too this year. Which
that is true too.
against
So
Niceville,
it's kind of weird, but yeah, I mean, I don't really look at it as home away losses. Again, the mentality whether we're home away has to kind of be the same anyway. It's an opportunity to go out and execute, and if we don't do that, it doesn't matter if we're on what sideline we're on. If we don't execute, we're not gonna win. But we'll take it, though.
Yeah,
we'll
win's
take
a win,
it. Neutral
like you
site,
said.
we got a neutral site win, we got a true home win, and a down the road home win, if that makes sense, because we played.
Road home win. Hey, we'll take it. I was at that game. That
I was
nice
home away from home this season.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of
seriously.
what our mentality is wherever we go, we wanna kind of stake our flag, but we got to execute though. So that's the biggest thing.
Should we take a look at some of the other highlights?
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, let's step away for a sec. Let's
Yeah, we gotta
pay
pay
some
bills.
bills for about 30 seconds here. Then we'll come back. We'll talk about some of the other big games tonight on WCTV Sports Overtime.
Tallahassee Board of Realtors invest hundreds of hours in our community. Local realtors and affiliates raise funds for Boys and Girls Clubs of the Big Bend, Brehon Family Services, and the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. Clean up local roadways and waterways. Build beds for local kids with SHP. Support Habitat for Humanity. Ring the bell at Salvation Army Red Kettles. Contribute to the Florida Veterans Foundation. And volunteer side by side with you, our neighbors. The Tallahassee Board of Realtors, proudly serving our community since 1935.
Welcome back, WCTV Sports Overtime. The three of us from CTV have seen this play, but Coach Jackson,
hasn't.
this was the finish of the night. Let's go to Brooks and Clint, shall we? Veterans Stadium. It's a big region matchup in GHSA. We'll show you the video of what happened before first because this was a defensive struggle. It was interceptions, it was fake punts, it was anything
A whole
you
lot
could
of
do to
defense.
manage offense.
Yeah, if you like defense, this was the game for you.
And if you don't believe us, with 2 minutes to go, this score was tied at
0.
Oh,
It was
wow.
scoreless
That's-
with 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, you pull off a fake punt, and very next play you throw a pick. It was just kind of one of those
Yeah.
nights at Veterans Stadium until we weren't there for the final 2 minutes of this, but our good friends at Creekbox TV were. Take a look at how this ends as Brooks tries to kick a go-ahead field goal.
33-yard attempt. They're going to snap it. He lays it down. And we block him. Go, son. Go, Paisley. He's at the 40, 30. He's at the 20. And we save it. We got it. My.
Coach was saying it while you were listening to that call, that you go hard every play, but man, if you're on the losing side of that, that's tough.
Yeah, that's as a coach, it's like, what do you say to your team in the locker room on the field after that one? Right there?
At home.
Well, especially
At
too,
home.
it's scoreless too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've busted your butt. You played great defense all night, and to let one slip away like that, that's.
What do you tell? I mean, honestly though, as a coach, what do you tell your team in the locker room?
I mean, it hurts. You
Yeah.
know, obviously, again, and like you said, they were at home, so it hurts. But it's one of those things that you just got to kind of tell your kids, yeah, it hurts, but we can't let the game beat us twice.
Yeah.
You kind of can be a little sour over it tonight, but tomorrow you got to hit the reset button and get ready for whoever your next opponent is. And then, again, I know it's tough, but as a coach, you know, and you guys who follow sports, you know that sometimes those losses, especially those tough ones, can linger. And if you don't kind of get over it quickly, now that loss has cost you another loss.
Yeah.
And so, like I always say, you can't let one team beat you twice. So just tell the team, just battle back. Obviously, you were a play or two away from winning, so now just got to focus on executing that 1 or 2 plays, and hopefully the outcome will be better next week.
Now on the flip side, special teams showing up. What do you tell that crew?
So everybody wants to play offense, defense. Special teams a lot of times is the difference in the
Yeah.
game. Like, again, going back to our game,
All
we
three
had
phases.
the kicker who missed their field goal in their opening drive. That's a little demoralizing. And then also on the flip side, it kind of gives you like, okay, here we go. Now let's get it together. In their situation, I'm sure they had all the confidence in the world in their kicker, but that defensive coach or the special teams coach on the other side, just like, hey, I'm telling you guys, if you can get through this again, points are going to be crucial, and obviously they believed them and made a play. And so, you know, you hate to lose a game like that, but for you kids who think special teams are not important, you're guaranteed to get on the
Winners
field.
tonight, yeah.
Exactly. And like I always tell them, you're guaranteed to start the game, start the half, and about on average in high school, every 4 to 5 plays, there's a special teams
Yeah.
being ran. So you
Yeah.
get plays, but a lot of kids, you know, you focus on offense and defense and being the superstar, which that guy right there is the superstar of his team right now. Whoever scooped that fumble up and of the block
Anton
kick and
Graham.
scored.
And
yeah.
that, by the way, to keep clinch perfect on the
Perfect.
season.
That's- no, I thought I saw that. Yep.
8-0.
Yep.
8-0 on the year. You want to do Wakulla Godby?
Yeah,
Because
because we didn't get a chance to show a
No,
ton
we
of
didn't
these.
get to show
And I
these
screwed
all
up
the
the
time.
score. I said that the wrong team won in this one. So why don't we pull up Wakulla
and this is
Godby.
you won't play Wakulla this year, but you do face Godby.
We
here
do face
in a couple
Godby in
of
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the free scouting report, and
You're welcome.
This was Owen Cleese. I believe this was on 4th down, correct, Allison? Correct me if I'm wrong
I
there.
cannot remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember
but
these.
Wakulla
yeah.
makes the take this lead here. Owen Cleese, such a talented quarterback.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's so good.
What I'm trying to think. Did you guys play Wakulla last year at Lincoln?
No, we have not played Wakulla since I've been here, actually.
Okay.
Now, when I was at Godby, we had
Well, y'all were in the same district at Godby, weren't you?
no, actually not in the same district, but we played them back-to-back years in the playoffs.
Playoffs. That's
Yep.
what it was. Okay, I knew it was in the play. I knew you
think
guys had played.
One
each
year
other.
they beat us in the
Yeah.
second round, and then the other year it was the third round.
Yeah,
actually.
and so Wakulla did end up winning that game, 38-21.
Yeah, 38-21.
38-21.
And so that's the thing I do as soon as I get in the truck or on the bus from games, I kind of like, hey, who's feeling the same way I'm feeling, whether it's bad after a loss or it's good after a win. Okay, so I check scores. So I already saw it, but looks like it was a little closer game than the score. So.
For sure.
Who has really kind of turned your head and impressed you this year as a coach?
The team we just played.
Yeah.
And I'd say this not just because we played them tonight earlier, but right before the season, the preseason kind of coaches corner thing, whatever thing, all the local coaches get together and talk about their teams. And they had a kind of it was supposed to be an anonymous Q&A, and they asked who I think was going to be the surprise team or kind of a very overlooked team in the city, and Childs was. Because again, Coach Ray's is a Bulldog at heart, so I know he was going to have those guys physically ready. But they have some tough kids over there too. And again, when you're playing Lincoln, it is a rivalry game, so we knew we were going to get their best shot.
Well, yeah, emotions are high.
Emotions
Yeah.
are very
Yeah.
high, and then you couple that with the Jacob kids coming back. But you throw all that aside, I still feel like Childs was probably the biggest surprise in the city.
Yeah, I
And like
agree
you
with
said,
that.
they're just so stinking tough.
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah.
They don't give up. I mean, again, even at the very end of our game, even though it was a 2-score game, they were still fighting.
They were fighting hard.
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah, this
And
is
that-
now back-to-back weeks. Or go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you have a running back too, he's got 13 touchdowns on the season now.
Cadet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cadet runs the rock.
Yep.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Cadet's real good.
That's the perfect running back name too, by the way. Cadet.
Cadet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good tough. I mean, he's low center of gravity. He's not the tallest in the world, and he runs behind his pads. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
First guy's
So
gonna.
the Philadelphia Eagles found out all about that.
Yeah.
It's very hard for one guy to bring him down, and again, he kind of makes them go.
For sure. For sure.
You want to do Florida High? Have you seen the Florida High Gadsden
That's
game?
where I was getting ready to move.
Well, let's go see it. Take it
Yeah,
over
let's head
there.
out to Havana. Obviously,
Because
we-
you
we-
guys played You just played Gadsden last week.
Oh
and
man,
they gave you guys a fight too.
Oh, that team there, especially their defense.
Yeah.
I mean, college coaches talk about the eyeball test.
Yeah.
When you look at those guys, it's like you just close your eyes, you can pick one, and they look like
Well, they've got
college offense.
given everything that they've been through, they still have a lot of guys that are committed to big time programs. I mean, you've got Zach, who's committed to South Alabama, Darius, who's committed to Cincinnati, Jacoby, who's committed to Florida State. You still have a lot of talented kids. That was a 73-yard touchdown, by the way. And then Florida High here faked me out, but I caught back up quickly. So this made it 12-7.
Okay.
And then 19-7
19-7
at
one
the
point,
end of the
right?
first quarter. That was all Florida High scored.
Wow.
Gadsden County scored 13 unanswered to win 20-19. So this
Oh,
was
it was a 1-point game.
20-19. Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, like you had mentioned earlier, Gadsden's been through so much,
Yeah.
but those kids play hard. We're talking
Yeah.
about how the Child's kids were playing hard. For these kids to know that unfortunately they don't have an opportunity to play in the playoffs, but you couldn't tell that by the way they play. I mean, those guys, they get after it. That's a very good group of kids over there.
Yes, sir.
I want to make a quick correction. It's Gerald Clark who has 13 touchdowns this
Yeah.
season. Cadet has 5.
Yeah,
But they got some
still,
great rushers.
they've got
Yeah,
a lot of talented kids.
You know, another game that we didn't get to show a ton of was Valdosta.
Yeah.
Valdosta and Richmond Hill tonight, Bazemore Hyder Stadium.
Those are the two teams you don't really get to
6A,
see a lot.
Region
Yeah.
1. But the Cats absolutely dominated this game. The home team Cats, I should say. Again, like she said, Coach, teams you don't get to see a lot, but Valdosta, this defense is absolutely nasty. They end up winning this game. What was it, 41-0 was the final
It
score
was
this
41 to nothing.
Yeah,
Two
41
pick
to
sixes.
nothing.
They had
6-1 squads.
back-to-back pick
yeah.
sixes. Back-to-back. That's how this game started.
Back-to-back?
Back-to-back pick sixes.
Oh, so and if I'm not mistaken, I think Lowndes is undefeated at the
Still
moment
perfect.
too.
They went
so,
to Camden and won tonight.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So that's going to be a great
winner
battle of
as well.
Lowndes County.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, final week. It'll be on Football Friday Fright
what
or
week is
Halloween
that?
night.
Is
Halloween night.
We'll be
Yeah.
playing the Rickers that
Yeah.
night.
Are
Wow.
we renaming it for that night?
Football Friday Fright. Yeah.
We may have some plans.
Yeah, we may have some
We may
plans.
have some
But you,
plans.
I mean, you went up to Ware County. That's a Georgia team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what for people that don't know South Georgia football? What is South Georgia football like?
It's and I'll compare it, like, you know, everybody in especially in North Florida and in the Panhandle talks about the atmosphere at Niceville and all that, which
Yeah.
is a phenomenal atmosphere.
Oh, and their stadium's super cool.
It
it's
is.
that bowl.
But
yeah.
Ware County has a very unique stadium. I think it's an old baseball stadium field, and so like
that's cool.
Yes, and so you can tell where home plate used to be, that the way the
know if I
bleachers
knew
set
that.
up.
Yeah, that's
it
actually
is-
really cool.
It is a nice venue. Their fan support, and then they're a very well coached team. And again, it's South Georgia, so they have a ton of resources. And that's why we went up there last year. Was fortunate to beat them up there last year, so went up there and didn't quite get it done this year. And you know, hopefully we get a chance to play them again next year, because we know we're gonna play a good quality opponent. Maybe we can get them coming to Tallahassee this time though.
Anything else big that we missed?
No,
AP?
I was just going to
Sarah?
say, too, about with Georgia, like, getting the opportunity to play those games. And I don't want to harp too much on, like, the differences between Florida and Georgia, because we all know if you watch Florida, Georgia, I mean, you make a lot more money as a coach and stuff, but
They pay their coaches.
yeah, hey, there you go. You said it, but everybody knows that. It's not a secret.
Right.
That's why Coach Co is at Coffee. I mean, he's making a lot more money, and the support too. I mean, you talk about the support and the facilities and everything. But why do you play those games? Why go up there? You're going to play tough competition. Is it the atmosphere? I mean, you get that atmosphere that your guys aren't used to. What does that do for you guys down the road?
Again, like going back to, like I said, with our schedule, it prepares us for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Those teams, even if you play them early in the season, those teams are usually, you know, pretty good to go, because the way Georgia starts their seasons, and so their guys by week 3, I think, would have been for us week 3 or week 4. You know, it's not a typical week 3 or 4 team. Those guys are seasoned and again, obviously well coached, and so going up there gives our a chance to kind of, it's a measuring stick in a sense, and you know, like I said, we didn't quite get it done, but I think the experience of saying, hey, these are the type of teams that we're going to play. If we want to make a deep run in the playoffs,
Yeah, this
these
is
will
what
be
we'll
the type
see.
of teams that we play.
Speaking
so,
of good games, have you seen anything about Thomas County Sun? I hate to keep. They're off this
Every
week.
time.
We have to ask everybody.
I was gonna ask, and I was like, I probably shouldn't ask. I
Oh,
was
ask.
like, did they score 70 this week also? Because it seems like they are just rolling
They're so
people.
good,
I
yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I was surprised at the score. You know, Lee County is historically very good.
Yeah.
When I saw that score,
They're
I was
rolling the
like,
best teams.
Yes, it was like. Ooh,
Well, we thought that
man.
game, like we were fighting about who was going to go to that game
Yeah.
because we were like, that's the game of the year. You got to go to
I
that
did
game.
go, yep.
I mean, this is my 18th year doing this. They are the best high school football team I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And you said that after week 3.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
they
did.
have
And
some
Ryan
good
said
players
the
up
same
there.
thing. I mean, they just make it look easy. I mean, it's unbelievable. I know you can't go. You don't have a chance to go up there and see them, but like, again, we say it every week. If you have a chance to see them, go see them. If you can get tickets, because that's a whole
Yes,
other
that's
issue
the
in
thing,
itself.
yes. I've again seen enough highlights of them
Yeah.
to know, like you said, I second that. They are a phenomenal team. They have a great running back. Their defense, obviously, they play lights out because nobody can move the ball on them, and it seems like they snap their finger, it's a touchdown. So it's going to be interesting. If I had to pick a team to win it, they would definitely be one. I don't even know what class they're in.
Well, that's what I was saying. So I want to bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody wrote in here, Lakeisha, our loyal TCC viewer who chimes in every week. She said, how about that Milton game? Shocker, Milton lost to Gainesville tonight. And that's 5A. And that's what they were going to say, or not 5A, that's that's who they would face. Like that's the teams that down the road that they'll be paired up with.
Yeah.
Same classification.
But Gainesville's pretty. I think they're having a pretty decent season this year.
They
too,
have a
if
really
not
good
just-
season, but everybody thought Milton was. I mean, this is their second loss on the year because they lost to Buford to open up the year.
well,
Buford's also a powerhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
that whole that classification 5A in Georgia is unbelievable. I mean, Coach Rogers talks about how it's kind of like the SEC
Yes.
of high school football in Georgia.
Yep, and then you throw in that Colquitt and
Yeah.
some other teams around that area. It's like, whew, and I
Yeah.
think
Well,
they
Rickers
play like
went
Regis.
up to Colquitt County a couple weeks ago and played them and hung with them. They were winning at halftime.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
surprised. That was the same weekend we were in Ware.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
they were,
So you guys had the whole
across.
Georgia trip. Somebody brought up Taylor County. Did you want to run through those highlights?
Yeah,
real
let's
quick?
go to Taylor County. No, it was a really, really tough night. After a big emotional win against an undefeated McClay team, Dorset Stadium. Coach Braswell was here last week talking about what a big game this was going to be against Chiefland, 6-1 on the year. And Chiefland just jumped on them early. I believe it was 2 of the first 3 drives come away with points. This was after Taylor rolled the dice, went for a fake punt, wasn't able to get it. I believe this is next play, or no, this wasn't next play from scrimmage, but it was just a couple plays later. Then Bez Glanton, who's usually so gifted and so talented, well, he's always gifted and talented,
Still
but
is.
just doesn't see the defender
Chiefland's
there.
good, though, man.
That's Mr. Sweet. That's his last name is Sweet. Scored both touchdowns.
Sweets, yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna be a dude, you gotta have a last name like Sweet. They did end up going for another fake punt and getting it right here. Going in the bag of tricks. We all know Coach Shane Boggs is rather fond of doing some creative things on offense, but even then go for it on 4th down, inside the 15, unable to move the chains on 4th and 1. Chiefland just had the advantage at the line of scrimmages, it seemed like tonight. Taylor's going to be okay, but it is Chiefland who walks away from Dorset Stadium, hands Taylor their first loss of the year.
That's a game that you learn from. You know, you get better from.
Yeah, they'll bounce back. I've seen
for
some
sure.
highlights of Taylor. They have some pretty good athletes over there.
Bez is a special
Yes,
player, man.
yeah.
Coach Braswell was talking a lot about him last week. Before we move on,
I want to give one shout out too before we move
Yeah,
on.
go
Can I
ahead.
do this first? Demario Jones gives
Oh,
us
yes.
a shout out. He said, "Big win at home tonight against Irwin County. You guys do the best job." So Charlton County
Yes, indeed.
got
Go
a big
Indians.
win, 27-23.
big win for
over Irwin County.
Or wait, are they the Indians or the Seminoles?
Charlton
Yes.
County? I think they're the Indians.
I was going to say, Demario, if I did you wrong, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, they're. Hold on, don't. You're gonna mess me up now. Yeah, they're the Indians too.
Yeah,
It was
we did
Indians
It's
versus
just because
Indians.
it's just
tonight.
because
Irwin County
they have
versus
the
Charlton.
spear
Yeah.
that kind of made me think. But anyway,
Did you know Coach Jones when he was at Godby? You had left to Lincoln by then, didn't you?
We, in between, I stayed at Godby for another year
Okay.
teaching before I came over to Lincoln, and that was the year that he got there. So we didn't. I coached in the spring with him, but I didn't coach in the.
Yeah.
I didn't stick around for the
Got
this
it.
season.
Yeah. Yeah, he said we are the Indians. Sorry, Coach. Forgive us.
sorry, man. Miss you. Anyway, in the comments, question on YouTube, Gadsden does not win the district championship,
No.
correct?
So how, because they have the postseason ban, and it's just, because remember Taylor County was in that district, because they dropped down to rural, it was just Florida High and Gadsden in that district. So when, when Gadsden got the postseason ban and they upheld it, Florida High was the de facto champions when that ruling was made. So that game was kind of just for, Gadsden kind of proved people wrong, and they proved people wrong. So Florida High, even though they lost that game, they are still the district champions.
Got it.
Yeah. So,
And you have to think.
and you guys are district champs too with the win
Yes,
tonight.
yes,
Yeah.
we are. Again, like I said, it wasn't pretty, but a win is a win. David Wilson, I appreciate you speaking that into my ear a few weeks ago, and it is what it is.
Coach Wilson's the best.
He is awesome.
You guys never trailed tonight. You know.
Did not. That's
And there's a win there.
there's a win there.
I mean, it's a huge confidence booster. They missed that field goal early on. You go down, score immediately, and you never really looked back. I mean, they kept it close, but yeah.
And like I said, that again, when you miss it early, that's kind of a little demoralizing, especially they had moved the ball a little bit on us. And so, on one sideline, it's kind of high, heads down, and the other side, hey, now we gave ourselves another chance. All right. And so, at the end of the day, we took advantage and were able to pull it out.
You got Coach Jackson has done a phenomenal job.
I owe you thank you.
Yes. And then
I was about to say, if you ever want to feel good about yourself, come on
yeah,
overtime
come
after
on
a
over,
win.
just look at all the compliments. We got a Coach Felton and the Mighty Mighty Cats for the big win over Richmond Hill.
Big win
so,
for Valdosta tonight. It's
You
like
know,
it's like I say, Blockbuster may be closed, but VHS never goes out of style.
That's right.
Mercy.
VHS never goes out of style. Yeah, Adams had the big board pulled up for us, so let's move
go.
on over to the big board. So interesting scores tonight. Big win for Coach Kez and NFC at Bragg. taking down FAMU DRS 49-12. We talked a little bit about Madison County. Raines has demolished everyone. And to get that, I know kickoff return touchdown was how this game started for Madison, for Bryce Harris' squad. But man, I don't know how much you've seen of just like film of Raines. What makes them so stinking good?
That's, again, athletes galore.
That helps.
Galore. I mean, again, that Madison County team, the record does not talk, show what type of team
I tell
they have.
everybody that,
That's
man.
a very good football team, and if they get into the playoffs, they are going to make some noise in that rural division or 1A division.
You talk about playing up. That's why you go to Georgia and you play those tough teams. Madison County, the record's not indicative of how good they are, but they played so many good teams and been competitive with really good teams. So when they get and play, quote unquote, light competition, in theory, they should do really well.
Can we get Madison versus Clincher Brooks? I'd love that.
Yeah, well, we had talked about kind of doing kind of border wars. Coach Brazo was saying that he would like to take Taylor County and go to like a Thomasville or Brooks, and you guys went to Ware. I mean, could we see Lincoln, Thomas County Central?
One thing,
Put the man on the spot.
No,
like
that's
that.
not putting me on the spot. Listen, I'm not, I'm a Gator, and Billy Napier is with the spot the ball. That's kind of how I feel, but I don't want to come off as arrogant. It's whoever we line up against, we have to still go out and execute.
100%.
But we will not run from anybody.
Yeah.
Again, we went up to Nice, we went up to Ware. It wasn't the best of games, but we definitely didn't walk away saying we're not scheduling them next year. So Thomas, that is a big order, but if we could make that happen, I'd love to see it.
I mean, we're so close. I feel like we should just take advantage. And I just said Central just because of Central, but Thomasville,
when I was
Brooks
at
County.
Goddard, we actually did play Central.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Some good games.
Wakulla's played Central in the past too as well.
Yeah, I mean it's Florida High. I mean played them this year, and they've done home and homes with them before.
See, that's the key right there. We got to get them.
You got to get
we
them
got to
home
get
and
them
home.
on this side.
Yeah, but and their fans will travel too, and they'll bring. And let me ask you this: do you know the whole controversy with the horns? Their horns?
No.
Oh my gosh.
So they have vuvuzelas.
The soccer horns. They're like the long, and they like.
And the GHSA is not fond of them, shall we say. And
But
Mississippi State Cowbells.
teams complained so much they made a rule, and it's called the Thomas County Central rule that you're not
Statewide
allowed
rule.
to have them.
And even then, you're technically supposed to still have the vuvuzelas.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing where it's this other type of horn, but literally, if the opposing team goes up to the official and says, I can't hear over the horns, they have to give Central a warning. And instead, against Lee 2 weeks ago, they just straight gave him 15 yards. And
Yeah.
Central was not happy
So
about
let me ask you this: are you going to complain about the vuvuzelas?
Nah, I mean that's I'm
Spot the
sure,
ball, right?
I'm sure I would have other things I need to be concentrating on, but what's going on above, but
I love it. I love it.
Man, going back to the big board real quick, hated that one for the Dogs tonight in McClenny. 28-21, Baker County gets the win. It's been a lot of tough, close games for Coach Hall and the guys. When you're a coach and you just feel like you've got a squad that's close to breaking through, what is the message to those guys?
you got to keep chopping wood.
Yeah.
Keep chopping wood and carrying water. It's tough. And when you're dealing with young kids who, they're at social media and their friends telling them, this, that, and the other, you just got to keep telling them chop wood, and eventually, you'll turn the corner.
I know it's a question that gets asked of coaches a lot in this day and age, but the pressure of a social media wasn't always there when we were there. I was in high school right as MySpace was becoming a thing, but it certainly wasn't
Throwing
in
it
your
back.
face all the time. As a coach trying to get your message across, how much more difficult does that make your job at times?
It's so much outside noise. It is, and speaking of that, so when we do our pregame meal, the first thing I say when we sit down, headphones off, phones in your pocket, social media is done for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
No one on social media can help us win a game. You can listen to music.
Don't tell the folks on social media that.
No one on social media can help you win a game. They've not watched film with you.
Say it
They
again
haven't
right
been
there,
to
camera
practice.
4, you got it.
No one on social media can help you win a game.
There you go.
But the unfortunate thing about social media, just like in life in general for even non-athletes, is that kids look for validation from people they'll never ever meet in their lives, and so that's just an added stress for these guys, and it's unfortunate. Like I said, we didn't have these issues. You got your butt whooped, and nobody saw it. Now you get your butt whooped. The guy that didn't see it yesterday, he's seen it and he shared it with 100 of his friends. So it's a little different. I do at sometimes feel bad for some of the kids and have to deal with the social media stuff.
Hey.
What you got there?
That's my guy right there, Brandon McCray.
Coach Jackson is my hero.
And so I'll give him his flowers. Coach McCray, like I said, when we met at midfield, when my very first year coaching, he had been coaching for a couple of years, and he kind of thought he was joking, obviously, when he said we were going to eventually coach together, and we did end up coaching together. Got to Tallahassee. At Tallahassee Gabi, 3 good years there, and then even being here, when I took over as the head job, he's my associate head coach. And just like I mentioned about Jimmy Tyson, having that voice that can kind of give you some great advice and tell you kind of not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Coach McCray is he's that guy for us. Obviously, he's our offensive line guy. He handles our social media. He does a lot of things behind the scenes. He's about to get married soon, and so he's a great guy. The kids love him. And I can't say, I can't tell him I appreciate him enough.
He has a question for you. He said, ask Coach Jackson.
If I could bottle the look that washed over your face.
It's coming from him, it's just
He said, ask Coach Jackson what lessons he uses from his dad, who is a longtime coach as well.
Oh, man, my dad was a coach for 33 years, and he was actually in attendance at the game tonight, and I'm glad we were able to get the win with him and my mom in attendance.
He coached with Coach Walls, correct?
Coach with Coach Walsh, yeah. He all 33 years we're at one school. We're at 20 High School,
incredible.
And so I was able to not only watch him as a young kid growing up. I like to tell kids, my high school was the first school in the state of Florida to ever win 4 state championships in a row.
Yeah.
Now it's so common.
Yeah.
But that was when I was, in my impressionable years, where that's what this is what football is, and this is what it takes to win. And so watching him and how he treated every player, starter, non-starter. He worked at the school, just how he treated, non-athletes, and that's something that's always stuck with me. You treat people with respect, and again, no matter if they're scoring touchdowns for you, if they're grabbing the water for you, and then, just that kind of that confidence, like I said, when you were asking about the Thomas County, we don't run from anybody. It's not that we're cocky. It's just that we believe in ourselves and we're gonna give them their best shot. And that's something that he instilled with me. It was kind of tough. Like I said, I played for him. He was my position coach in high school. So imagine your coach being a parent too. So sometimes he didn't know how to turn off that parent versus coach thing. But at the time I didn't understand it. But now that I'm in the coaching, this is my 13th year coaching, I completely understand where he was coming from. And he, as I got older, he kind of explained it to me one day. He's like, I had to be hard on you because I wasn't gonna afford anyone the opportunity to say I gave you something. And so I had to be harder on you than I was on the other kids. And again, at the time, I didn't quite understand it, but as a coach now, I completely understand what he's talking about. And so I have a thing where I tell kids, I don't treat any kid equally. All right, I treat kids fairly. And the reason I don't treat kids equally because, I may be able to yell at this kid and he gets exactly what I'm saying, and I may be able to yell at this next kid and he has something going on at home and he may tuck his tail and he give in. So
everybody's
I have
going
to figure
through
out exactly how to reach each individual kid, and that's where I get the coaching them fairly versus the equal from. But one of the things I hang my hat on is I don't care if you're a 5-star guy, if you're a guy you'll never touch the field. I make a point to make sure I coach you the exact same.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Having your parents and especially your dad at the game tonight, just how cool is it to kind of have that full circle? You were growing up with him as your dad and a coach, and now he's watching you coach a 5-2 program.
Yes, and I'm at the age now where I understand where the pride that he has in watching his son coach. Again, I mentioned that I played for him. I also had the opportunity to coach with him. Before I came to Gabi, and that was phenomenal. Actually, Coach Hall, we were all on the same staff together.
That's so cool.
That was tough when I did make the decision to leave. That was kind of tough. But coming here to Tallahassee, he's been nothing but supportive. When I got the head job here at Lincoln, I used to tell people I don't know who was more excited, him or myself, or my sister who passed 2 months ago. And so kind of going back into that, I know, with what we've been through these last couple months, again, I know he's proud of what I'm doing, what the team is doing. He watches film more than I do. No, I ain't gonna say more than I do. He watches it before I do. By the time I get home, when the phone rings, I say, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I watched the film twice already. Y'all got to do this.
Got the
All right, Dad, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
for
Oh, yes, he does. But he's coming. He's coming from a great place. Again, he just wants his son to be successful. He likes the coaches on the staff. He's a coach at heart, but he's retired. But I don't think he realizes that sometimes.
No, I love it. That's just a dad being a
That is
dad.
a dad being, I think we
Yeah.
can all speak to that.
I love that. We have, so Lakeisha, again, our TCC faithful viewer, sounds like he is what kids need in sports. Great job.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We go back to social media and all that. The kids don't have a whole bunch of positive role models.
Yeah.
They have social media role models, but again, those guys are putting on, as the kids used to say, putting on for the gram. When they go home to their everyday life, you never know what these people are going
Yeah.
through. But I try to show the kids, I try to be as real as possible with them. I'm not one of those coaches that's going to go out to practice and say, oh, it's not hot out here. No, it's hot. Or it's cold out here.
Yeah, why are you sweating then, Coach?
Yeah.
Right, and these last couple of years, it's literally been one of those where I can't say, yeah, I've been through this, because we've had some of the hottest summers in history. So when I tell the kids, like, yeah, I can't relate to that because I've never had to go through this. I even look back like, how in the heck did we play with equipment on, like, as hot as it is out here? Like, yeah, I feel sorry for you guys, but you still got to get on this line and run, though. But I love it. It's just my way of giving back to what was given to me.
That's awesome. I love it.
All right, tell you what, we're going to pay bills one more time. We'll come back. We'll have one last look at our Play of the Week nominees for this week and where we're going next week. WCTV Sports Overtime rolls on after this.
Tallahassee Board of Realtors invest hundreds of hours in our community. Local realtors and affiliates raise funds for Boys and Girls Clubs of the Big Bend, Brehon Family Services, and the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. Clean up local roadways and waterways. Build beds for local kids with SHP. Support Habitat for Humanity. Ring the bell at Salvation Army Red Kettles. Contribute to the Florida Veterans Foundation. And volunteer side by side with you, our neighbors. The Tallahassee Board of Realtors, proudly serving our community since 1935.
Okay, so we're trying to settle something out right now about.
No, we have it. Yeah, we have
Okay.
it right.
Okay, so we do have it right?
No. Like,
It's right in
been
the comments,
corrected.
or we have it
It's
right?
right in the comments.
Okay, cool. Okay, so then let's go through these Play of the Week nominees then, because we know we've got the first two right on the money. Why don't you take the first one then, Taylor?
Oh yeah, Leon's Randon Manassa, long touchdown run, 85 yards to the house. Randon Manassa, great place on top.
All right, and how about a duo? So, Scholar athletes this week, brother and sister at Osceola Christian.
Yeah.
Sister is homecoming queen.
Yeah.
And then Ben Fagley with the pick six here and their big win tonight.
Happy homecoming, right? All right, Clinch County. We already talked about this huge win for Clinch County. This is Fred Causey, who blocks, that'd be the game-winning field goal for Brooks. Blocks it, his teammate takes it back all the way to the house. 6-0, that would be your final. Clinch County, a perfect 8-9 on the year. Fred Causey.
But Anton Graham,
Big block.
we're sure you're awesome too.
Yeah.
We're sure you're awesome
Well, he
too.
plays
man.
for Brooks County.
Yeah. Oh,
He's on, yeah.
whoopsie daisy.
We're good.
Well, I'm sure you're awesome too, and I know that was a tough. You know, I'm just going to stop putting my foot in my mouth, and I'm going to say Football Friday Night's got a great game next week.
This should be
Florida
good.
High and Madison County, both I would have to imagine are a little upset about how tonight rolled out. What happens when you have two teams coming off tough losses that really need this win?
When it comes to these two teams, you're going to look at it's going to be a good physical football game on Friday. And unfortunately, well, I didn't say unfortunately, but we won't be able to watch it because I'd love to be in the stand for that one. I think that's going to be a great game.
Boot Hill, great atmosphere.
Oh,
as
Boot
well.
Hill, yes. And I'm from, that's our rival, live
I know.
Battle of 90. So, yeah, Boot Hill, we've had some battles on Boot Hill.
memories are
Yeah.
Guys on the other side of the river, there's no love lost ever.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
My first time at Boot Hill was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is your
it's
first
always,
trip.
yeah.
Have you made it to Paul Langford yet?
Swanee.
No, I don't think so.
Got to
Yeah.
get in the
We
doghouse.
gotta get him to the
Got to get in
doghouse.
the doghouse. But when you go, you got to go by Brown Lane, and you got to eat You got to get a
Well, we
shrimp
all are going
sandwich.
to go there now.
Listen,
We all are going to go there
y'all
now.
hear that, Brown Lane? I'm plugging you. So when I come home, I
Hook my man up.
Yeah,
Yes,
hook him
me
up,
man.
hook him up.
Hook me up.
Matt, shrimp and grits was how they got me here. At Jonah's.
At Jonah's in Thomasville.
Oh, listen. So I went for the the shrimp and grits, and as I'm waiting on it, they messed around and brought out the hush puppies, and I was like, you don't have to bring anything else out.
All the hush
Bring
puppies.
all the
That's
Bring me 12 more of these and we'll be
Bring the
set.
hush puppies and the cookout. Come on, come. I'm taking everybody with me. Now, so-
I love it. That's so awesome.
Oh,
That's
they were
good
delicious.
stuff.
Oh, man.
It's the best. We love food. That's how we got him here. We had to show him good Southern food, man.
Yeah, yeah. Before he'd come down to sign this, where was the furthest south you'd been?
DC.
My man hadn't been south of D.C.
Oh, you were probably still putting sugar in your grits then. Yes.
I don't think we
you ever
had.
had grits?
We don't have. I actually had, but
No,
you don't have
you have
grits up
cream
there.
of
That's what.
wheat.
Okay.
That's why we were making
They
fun
have
of him
cream
wearing the
of
beanie.
wheat.
Because if you were there, yeah, see?
Yeah,
See,
I know. I
Now
know.
this
now you know
story,
more and
yeah.
more and more.
Now you're knowing more of the story.
Taunted
here.
Allison when
Yeah.
he came in.
You were also in that boat.
Well, I didn't wear a beanie tonight.
Yeah.
So,
I was comfortable. It was a beautiful night.
Yeah,
Anyway.
my trainer Jordan, she's from New York and she had on shorts, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
See, her blood hasn't been.
Yeah, but
You gotta-
She's been in Florida long enough, and she's
Yeah.
still.
I
know.
She's been here a while.
Yeah, she
I think
has.
she's been here as long as I've been
It
here.
was the wind, man. It was blowing.
I had my zip-up
When?
hoodie and I was sweating a little bit
When?
tonight. So,
We still love it.
I will say, and again, I'm not trying to plug anybody, but if you like fish and grits, what is it, Midtown and 3rd?
Here in Tallahassee?
Oh my gosh, on North Monroe, they may have had the best shrimp and grits.
okay.
With a little bit of, I
Okay.
think they throw a little bit of, a little piece of fried catfish in it. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment on camera.
This is how good this food
Yes,
is.
it is.
Okay.
It is. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
surprised you haven't
I was
heard of
just-
that
I was-
because you were the resident
See,
foodie.
I haven't been by yet. But I have heard of this place.
Okay.
And it will be visited.
Yes,
And
I've been once, and I'm mad that I hadn't been back. I mean, it was just a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
and oh,
He's like already ready to go back.
you know the worst part about talking about all this food right now on overtime?
It's
is
not
that it's
open?
12:45
Everything's
and everywhere except the standbys, which we are grateful for. We are grateful for
eventually
your
cookout.
standbys.
Cookout will be open.
Yeah,
But you know what else is open?
Waffle
Waffle
House.
House.
There we go.
That's
There we
my
go.
jam. And they know it. They make fun of me all the time.
Oh man, the sales department gonna talk to us on Monday.
All the
It's
free
fine.
advertising.
It's fine.
Guys, is this the longest sports overtime? Or
We had a great time.
We got
We've
an
had a
hour,
great
I think.
time. It is
Yeah.
12:45 Eastern. Coach, we
Yeah.
cannot thank you enough for staying late with us tonight. This has been a blast.
I appreciate you guys having me. I'm glad I didn't, do the call in. I really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
This
Good.
was fun,
We're
man.
glad to have you back. And hopefully
Have
we'll
me
have
back.
you
There we go.
Yeah.
Have me back.
I was gonna say,
I told him
the more you win, the more you come on back.
Couple months, he could be here with
Yeah.
his team.
Celebrate with a trophy.
Hey, in the off season, I may be able to help with some other sports. You never know.
There we
now.
go.
There we
We'll
go.
have you on Full Court Friday. How about that?
I'm down.
Let's do it.
Let's
I'm
do
down.
it.
I'm down. I
Let's
got
do
my
it.
Gainesville
Book it.
girl over here with me. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for us tonight. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next time on WCTV Sports Overtime.
Go Trojans.